I'll call to order the Apache Junction Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. It is Tuesday, December 11th, 2018. It is now 7 p.m. And if everyone would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Rudy.
Commissioner Schroeder.
Present.
Vice Chair Heck.
Present.
Commissioner McGraw.
Here.
Commissioner Kreidler.
Here.
Commissioner Uli.
Here.
Chairwoman Nesser.
Present.
Commissioner Howard.
Here.
7 present. We have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Okay, we'll move on to approval of the agenda. Could I have a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission accept the agenda as presented.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please, Rudy.
Vice Chair Heck.
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw.
Yes.
Commissioner Kreidler.
Yes.
Commissioner Uli.
Yes.
Chairwoman Nesser.
Yes.
Commissioner Howard.
Yes.
Commissioner Schroeder.
Yes.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Okay, we'll move on to approval of the minutes. And the first is consideration of approval of the regular meeting minutes of November 13, 2018. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission approve the minutes from the November 13th, 2018 meeting.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner McGraw.
Yes.
Commissioner Kreidler.
No.
Commissioner Uli.
Yes.
Chairwoman Nesser.
Yes.
Commissioner Howard.
Yes.
Commissioner Schroeder.
Yes.
Vice Chair Heck.
Yes.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Okay, we'll move on to consideration of approval of the regular meeting minutes of November 27th, 2018. And I forgot, I'm sorry, but does anyone have any discussion on these minutes?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Once again, the detail in the minutes is not accurate. It does not reflect correctly as far as the discussion items. It does reflect that the topics that were discussed, but it does not say what the detail was discussed. And once again, that's a disservice to the public.
Okay, so noted. Do I have a motion for acceptance of the minutes of November 27th?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission approve the minutes from the November 27th, 2018 meeting.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second made. Roll call vote?
Commissioner Uli.
Yes.
Chairwoman Nesser.
Even though I was not here, I can approve the acceptance of the minutes, so I do so.
Commissioner Howard.
Yes.
Commissioner Schroeder.
Yes.
Vice Chair Heck.
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw.
Yes.
Commissioner Kreidler.
No.
Okay, we'll move on to the public hearings. We have one hearing tonight. Presentation, discussion, public hearing, and consideration of the possible revocation of case CUP-9-17 for noncompliance with certain conditions. Rudy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will be very brief. Back in May of 2018, the City Council approved a resolution allowing Mr. Mohuddin, owner of the Hitching Post, to conduct various outdoor activities on his property. Conditional use permit that carried several conditions, some of which were time sensitive. The reason we scheduled and advertised this case for public hearing is because some of the conditions, which had a 6-month time frame, were not complied with. However, in the meantime, there has been a couple of notices of violation sent to the property owner. The property owner did file a proper appeal of said notices of violation. Those types of appeals go to the city's Board of Adjustment, and according to our city code, section 1-16-5C, which states, an appeal to the board stays all proceedings in the matter appealed from unless the zoning administrator certifies to the board that, in the zoning administrator's opinion and finding, a stay would cause imminent peril to life or property. Upon such finding, proceedings shall not be stayed except by restraining order granted by the board or by a court of record on application and notice to the zoning administrator. Proceedings shall not be stayed if the appealee requests relief which has previously been denied by the board, except pursuant to a special action in court. So the other matters have been properly appealed. They are, I guess, related to some extent to the matter before the commission here tonight. Therefore, staff respectfully requests that because this is an advertised public hearing, that anybody wishing to speak on the matter be allowed to do so. But then that the matter be continued until the commission meeting of March 12th, 2019, which will allow time for the Board of Appeal to be scheduled, the matter before the Board of Adjustment to be scheduled, along with any appeal periods which may result as a result of that. And that's why we are recommending that the matter be continued to the March 12th, 2019 P&Z meeting.
Okay. How we will proceed is, since this, because of the appeal and since this will need to be continued, we cannot hold the public hearing tonight. But as Rudy has stated, since this was advertised, the public does have the right to come and speak. You have 5 minutes to speak. And we will start out with Colleen Shipman. Anyone who speaks, please give your name and your address for the record, please.
Madam Chair. Hello, people. Colleen Shipman, 1615 West Mockingbird Street, Apache Junction, Arizona. I'm here to speak in favor of the hitching post. I think the CUP had conditions that were just non-realistic for any business owner, and I think that the city of Apache Junction needs to look at the restrictions they put on businesses with these CUPs to find out how the cost, the need, the necessity for all that to be put on just to have a CUP granted. And I think a lot of people would miss the hitching post if it was gone. They do a lot of good things for the community. There's a lot of us that have made a lot of good friends there, and we enjoy it. So that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will now call a Joe Sparrow.
Good evening. I'm a snowbird. I live the winter.
You need your name and address, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Joe Sparrow. My address is 8700 East University in the winter and in Qualicum Beach, British Columbia in the summer. We've been snowbirds since October 2012, and we were fortunate enough, we did a road trip out to Tortilla Flats. On the way home, it was 104 degrees, and we found this neat little funky bar on the side of the road where we could have a cold drink and watch some football. Since then, the band started. There was a two-piece band in those days, and we fell in love with the place. It's just an amazing place, and we went there pretty well every Sunday. Not only that, about 2 months went down the road, and my current wife and I were not married at the time, and I asked her to marry me. I asked if she accepted, and I asked her where she might have in mind, and she said the hitching post would be awesome. That's what I was hoping for. We had a great wedding, December 29th, 2012. Hundreds of people were there. Cowboys brought horses, cowgirls. It was awesome, and Mo was the tremendous wedding planner with Tina. Staff always have treated us really well. We've become really good friends with Mo and Tina, Donnie Grub Band and Cliff and the Originals and all the other musicians. The hitching post is just a tremendous resource in this community. It employs lots of local kids and staff, and it's a good melting pot of all the snowbirds. We meet people from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Canada, of course. It's a wonderful place, and Mo and Tina always made everybody feel at home. I can't say enough good things about the hitching post, and I just hope it continues to exist even better than it is today, if that's possible. Thank you.
Thank you. I have an application, or a request, I should say, from Charles. It starts with a B. B-E-A-L, maybe?
Be correct. Charles Beal, Lot 21, San Marcos Crossing. I'd like to speak here this evening about the hitching post. I've been working with Mo over the last year in regards to the issue. A couple of the things that stand out for me is that property was developed back in 1957. The homes around it were developed in 2001. Over the change of the economy, Mo purchased the property, I believe, in 2007. And he's gone through some challenges. He's grown. He became an economic engine for our city. He does a lot of good stuff. He's a person that you would want to represent you, as a community, and he does a good job of it. Now, I'd like to speak specifically to some of the violations. I believe back in November, he got a violation for parking. One of his customers, I think, parked the car on the back lot. And immediately, somebody called the police. Police came out, issued him a citation. He's like, what do I do? And I'm like, okay, let's look at what you can do, what's in your power. Overflow parking. Maybe that's an idea for you. Maybe valet service for the business. And he's looking at those things, but I think he needs time to do that. And it's more time that may not be allotted here. It was November 9th that he got the violation, and here we are, early December. It takes time for these things to happen, and he should be allowed that time. Now, let's talk about some of the zoning things that he's faced with in front of him. A wall. I know that was brought up here a couple months ago. Hardscape reflects sound. Softscape doesn't. If he was to plant bougainvilleas across the property line, I think that would absorb the sound as opposed to reflect the sound, and you would have a better throughput. Now, when I look at this, I look at the city as being part ownership of this problem because they didn't create a buffer zone between the residential and commercial. From a zoning perspective, when I look at this, I see that the commercial businesses along 88 take precedence over everything else in that area. And you would expect in 2001 that when the homes were built, that there would be commercial traffic and noise in that area. It's a reasonable assumption to make, I think. And I think that when they purchased the property here of late, and I don't know when they purchased their properties, but I think that when they did it, they didn't realize the ramifications of having a commercial enterprise in their neighborhood. And here we are this evening talking about it. So give it, some consideration here on some of the things I brought to you this evening and, treat it accordingly, and I know you will. Thank you.
Thank you. Joel, I just want to verify with you, I only received 3 requests to speak, but anyone else can speak without filling these out, or yes, no?
Yeah, this is a public hearing, and so people, if they want to speak, they can just come up, even if they didn't fill out a notice.
Okay. Would anyone else like to speak on this hearing? Please come forward and give us your name and address, please.
Good evening. My name is John Martino. I was founder of the Meat Slicer Deli here in town at East Valley. 146 North Merrill Road, Apache Junction, Arizona, 85120. I was the original founder of the Meat Slicer Deli here at 300 West Apache Trail in Apache Junction, and have been patronizing the Meat Slicer, and the Hitchin Post for the last 5 years. We bring a lot of winter visitors to the area. They all enjoy the locations of where they are. They all enjoy the way Mo and Tina have treated people. And I'm here on Mo and Tina's behalf for the Hitchin Post because there's too many things that I've noticed as a business owner in the same location, just south of the Hitchin Post, that have caused us a lot of grief in the same ways, and we've been able to work through that with building a successful business that I finally sold after 4.5 years at 300 West Apache Trail, Suite 116. After that, I became the property manager for Mr. Lamba for the entire center, and there are a lot of challenges that we face that we've been improving things there, one thing at a time, but everything does take time, just like the previous speaker said, and everybody deserves time to get things done because it never has been a real fast-moving community in some ways up until now. And we've got businesses right now in our center that are faced with the same issues of zoning and permits that we need to work through, and we're doing so in the correct fashion. So I'm just here to support the Hitchin Post and all business in Apache Junction. I understand that there can be noise problems and parking problems and all kinds of things. We have it also right in the middle of downtown Apache Junction. And the businesses that are here, the people that come from far away, and the local residents like myself now, we want those businesses to be successful, and that's what I did with ours, and that's what they've done with theirs. And everybody's open to, everybody here is open to change and fixing things up the way it's supposed to be. And it's just, I just feel like it takes a little bit of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak? Please come on down and state your name and address.
Good evening. I'm Ken Petro, and I'm from Montana. And I know I'm on behalf of Tina and Mo. And the way I see this, I've been on council meetings before. It created zoning districts in Montana. And it sounds to me like it's part of Apache Junction's problem and Mo and Tina. And I think that what the city council needs to do is instruct their zoning person to help Mo fix this problem. Now, he spends a lot of money on taxes. He's probably the only one, I think, on that whole road that pays the most taxes of anybody out there, of all the businesses. He donates money to the school. He just did a big donation to the fire department. Why do they want to keep harassing the guy to keep his business small so that it's quiet? Let him grow. Bring more tax money into it. You got a new road out here, a beautiful road. And part of his money went to that too. And everybody, as you can see, how many people he's got backing him. These people consider that Hitchin Post home. There's a place that's down the road a little bit, kind of like a restaurant, a little bar. They get to park wherever they want to. They can park up streets and up alleys and everything. Nobody says anything. But Mo and Tina have been fighting this thing. We've been coming down here for about 10 years, and they've been fighting this thing for the last 5. Why does the council want to fight this man from creating more businesses? He has employees. I bet he has probably 25 employees. Why don't you let the guy go, and why don't you help him create some kind of a buffer between the houses, the people that are complaining? Because he pays more taxes, I think, in this district, in Apache Junction, than anyone on that street. So I could really consider letting him park there and help him. You two can, this is be a friendly thing instead of a fight all the time. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Rudy? Rudy, do you need his full address?
Pardon?
Do you need his full address? He only stated that he was from Montana. Sir, I need you to come back up and give your address.
We're at 1902 Selway Drive, Laurel, Montana. Probably half the people don't know where Laurel is. That's just west of Billings a little bit. We live out of the city, but anyway, I don't know if you know where Laurel's at. It's a thriving town.
Yeah, thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak before this commission? Please come on up.
Hey guys, how are you? Donnie Grubb, 3550 South Warner Drive, Apache Junction. I've been at the Hitchin Post, for about 8 years playing music, and I've watched the thing grow, and I've watched this enormous family grow, and it's no secret that, a huge majority of the population out here is in favor of whatever we can do to help the Hitching Post grow, and it's a small minority that's against it. And it's a shame that, the city has helped create a dangerous situation. I want to speak specifically about the parking because that's one of my biggest concerns. I'm there, on the busy nights, and I'm leaving at the end of the night watching other people leave, and the city is forcing people to park all around the dangerous areas, not allowing Mo to use his own property to park on, creating a situation where you have people crossing the road at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning on a 50-mile-an-hour highway. I mean, how can the city let that happen? Mo has the property. He owns it. It's all been partitioned for the Hitching Post, but yet he can't park cars on it. I just don't understand why the city hasn't pushed harder to help him develop this and create such a dangerous situation. There's not another place, in town that has to go through the same kind of stipulations that Mo does. I've watched it, and I know all these places. I know all these people. It's no secret, and I think that I've been raised out here in Apache Junction. I'm from this town. I went to high school out here. I love this place, and everybody that I work with at Hitching Post is in the same situation. We want to make our community better, and it's a shame that the leaders of our community have made it so hard for us to do that kind of a thing, and created such a dangerous situation for innocent people that just want to come and get a hamburger. They have to cross a highway to get there when we have a huge lot that can't be used. It just doesn't make any sense. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak before this commission? Please come on down and state your name and address, please.
Good evening. My name is Michael Schaub, 39662 East Cactus View Drive, Gold Canyon, Arizona. I'm going to touch on something that kind of hasn't been touched on. The Hitching Post to Apache Junction just may be some small town honky-tonk that we make a bunch of noise. To a good majority of the people in this room, that is where our families gather. That's where we make memories. I don't think you would appreciate it if I showed up at your house on Christmas Eve and gave you a citation because your family parked in your own driveway. I don't believe you would agree with me calling the police because your grandchildren playing in the front yard made too much noise. None of this is making any sense. It's got to stop right here. Okay? You took an oath to serve, protect, and take care of your people. We are your people. We're the same people in your parades. Y'all wouldn't let me be Santa Claus this year, so I had to be the Grinch. Okay? We are a family. We are an extended family. We have our ups, our downs, our lefts, our right. I mean, I still haven't forgiven Mo for 5 years ago getting rid of the sample platter. We're all here. We all love this place. I live in Gold Canyon. My better half lives in Santan Valley. Do you know what we do to participate in Apache Junction parades and events? It starts way in the morning, well after you and your families have gone to bed. This is home to us. This is where we make memories. Why would you impede on that? That doesn't make any dang sense. Okay? I believe one or two of you come from the same cut I do. We stopped seeing color the day we stood on yellow footprints. There shouldn't be a race issue in Apache Junction. I spent most of my life in combat zones being shot at and fighting for a man like Mo to be with a woman like Tina and to live here freely and to grow and to prosper and enjoy making memories with their family and friends. And I'm pretty ashamed to say that the last 10 years, I've watched this city do nothing but try and keep them and us from doing that. So, regardless how you vote on this, keep this in mind when you vote. I want you to vote as if your kids and your grandkids were standing in front of you, ticked off that they haven't been able to make the memories anymore. Because somebody always calls the police. The other thing I want Mo and Tina to understand is I don't take the term family lightly. When they're exhausted and tired of carrying themselves through this, we got big shoulders. And I assure you, long after the people that complain about this don't know their names and have to be spoon-fed mashed potatoes, we'll still be here. So will the Hitching Post. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak before this commission? Please come on down.
Good evening. Maria Furman, 1415 North Country Club Drive, Mesa, Arizona, number 1057, Mesa, Arizona. So we have been lived here behind Hitching Post for 3 years. And right behind Hitching Post, on the same property, my bedroom window open in front of the back patio of Hitching Post. We can see every activity that has been going on, parking lot, everything. This son was born in, my son was born in August 2016. And we just moved in July when he was 2. So from the day he was born to the day we moved, not one single time he woke up because there was a noise from Hitching Post. He did wake up a few times because of the motorcycles going by down the streets, but we can't hear anything. And with that being said, that window that has opened, even it's open, right? And we're sleeping. We have never had this problem. And we are the closest neighbor to Hitching Post. So all of this, objection of this noise being going on for months, I really don't understand that. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak before this commission?
Sherry Vinson, 834 South Meridian, Apache Junction. I respectfully ask that you consider all of the things that I've heard over the last year and a half, and I know it's been going on for 5 years. So much of it seems unfair, disrespectful. Somebody's being picked out for who knows what reason. They're good people. Be fair. Be honest. There's something going on. I don't know what it is. Something doesn't make sense. It's going on for too long. I'm East Coast, and the West has its wild, wild West ways, and sometimes I think, is it just the Wild West? They just get to do whatever they want and go after a single person? Doesn't make sense to me. I respectfully ask that you just be fair. Do the right thing. Thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak before the commission? Come on down.
Good evening. My name is Joseph Follett. I live at 10236 East Carmel Avenue, Mesa, Arizona. I've known Mo and been in this establishment for the last...
Can you move up closer to the
sorry.
microphone?
Let me get close here. I got a big mouth. I figure you're getting it. I've been in with Hitching Post the last 5 years. To me, it's a meeting place. It's not just the bar. It's not just a restaurant. It's a place where friends of mine and acquaintances of mine meet every Sunday afternoon. Not to make noise, but to enjoy life. I've never seen a fight in there. I've never seen anybody get thrown out of there. I've never heard noise. I've been in the back parking lot when the band's been playing. I've been out there talking to people by my truck when I was parking out there. And it's just, it hits me wrong when people who live and move into an area and an establishment has been there and now they're complaining about a noise. They should have known that when they first got there, not 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. It's not like they've been here for 20 years. You know, Mo owns a house or has another resident over here. He never complains about it. Something's wrong. You take one family that might get a little irritated about the noise, maybe they gotta move. Maybe they gotta turn around and say, I can't do this anymore. But don't bust up an establishment that does great things for this community and every community that they know. I'm in there when he's running stuff. Mo is running stuff for the people. Guy got hit on a motorcycle, got run off the road. He's always doing things like that for him. He's not just somebody in there, okay, give me your money, come on, buy up this, buy up this. I want you to sit here and get drunk. He doesn't do that. It's a family place. You got people from all over this United States that come down there to see him. You know, all over. You can go in any Sunday now, and the places, you'll see out-of-town cars, people that know him for years that have been coming there. You know, so like everybody's trying to say is just be open to what's going on, what he accomplishes, what he gives to this community, and not take it away from the people that love coming to his establishment. We don't get drunk. I've only seen one person get drunk and Mo threw him the hell out. You know, that's just the way it is. It's not a place, I mean, I go to many places to dance, and I watch the kids down there get drunk and nobody says anything. It doesn't happen here. He's family-oriented. He's got kids that come in, 8 o'clock, they go out. They're not staying there, you know. And that's his rules. That's his law. But families come from the lake. They stop in for something to eat, a couple of beers. It's summertime. You guys want to shut him down? I don't know. This guy wants to shut him down. I can't fathom what's going through his head, you know, unless he's got an agenda. You know, and if he's got an agenda, why doesn't he come over and talk to Mo personally about it? You know, but thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak before the commission? Come on down.
My name is Robert Haywood, 939 North Acacia Road, Lot 11, Apache Junction, 85119. Unlike a lot of people, I don't have blood family anymore. Mom, dad's in heaven, brothers in heaven. I'm a Florida boy. What little family I have left is in Florida, and we're not in contact with each other. But on the front and back porch of the hitching post, thanks to Mo and Tina, I have family. It's an honor to see someone like Logan Reichwald be able to buck on Thursdays and Saturdays and win the Arizona State Junior High School rodeo and bull riding. And to represent, thanks to the hitching post, helping throw fundraisers, not just for Logan Reichwald, but I couldn't even tell you the number of fundraisers that Mo has personally embraced and facilitated. And to see someone like Logan grow up and have an opportunity, and we're in the National Finals Rodeo Week. Tonight's night 6. And to take away that dream from so many people, to take away family from me over a parking lot that people can't park in that he has access to. It just doesn't make sense. I've had the honor to announce in the back and fill in for Scott Jones from time to time. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. For the life of God and family and future of everything that is what this country's about, don't do this. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak? Anyone else?
My name is
You
Ellen.
can pull it down.
Okay. My name is Ellen Pearson. I live at 141 West Hunter Street in Mesa, Arizona. I'm here to support Mo and Tina. I come here all the time to Apache Junction and to the hitching post because, like they said, it's like a family place, and it's a wonderful place to go. And Mo has done so much to support with all the that he has put on to raise money for the high school band, the AJ High School band, the AJ High drawing. AJ Fire Department, and a house, and he raised money for some people whose house burnt down, and they had nowhere to go, and he was raising money. And AJ, he gave a bike to a boy in AJ who had no way to ride to school. AJ water heater given to an older lady who was cold and needed hot water. And he also had a fundraiser for a young boy who died in a car accident, and he raised money for their family. He's raised money for the Boys and Girls Club, fallen officers, wounded warriors, Children's Hospital, Cancer Center, Hope Center, American Sheriff, Fire Department, Mining Company, and Black and Gold football team. And I cannot understand with why anyone would try to close him down or not want him there. He was there first. If you don't like airplanes, don't move near an airport. If you don't like trains, don't move near a railroad. And he's been there for a long time, and he's done a lot for this community, and he has that huge area that he owns out and back of his own property, and why he can't turn that into a parking lot makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. So I think there's some other agenda or something that I don't know what it is, but I just think that Mo should be able to continue his business, because there's so many of us that love Mo and Tina and just love going to the hitching post. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak? Does anyone else? Please come on down.
My name is Tom Burkle. I live at 3710
Move that up.
South Goldfield, Golden Vista, little retirement community. I've been coming to this area since my mom and dad have a place there. From Seattle. I actually lived in Cincinnati. I just moved out here this summer. One of the first places they took me was the hitching post. One of the first places I bring people to when they come here, like my children, is the hitching post. I don't know, because I'm in the dark, of what the issues are, because I haven't been to any meetings to hear any problems. I've never read any paper, any documentation, other than the people that have been to the hitching post, that have been there, that work there, or come there, as to what their ideas of why your entity is wanting to shut down their business. I've been there several times. I'm not a bar hopping person. I've sold commercial real estate for 35 years. I've dealt with zoning, I've dealt with government control and everything else that goes into people getting an occupancy permit. I don't know what kind of CUP that they've signed or what the criteria is, but I know that these people that own this business are there all the time, day and night. The times that I've been there, I've never saw one customer that even ever had a bad food service or had any issues with wanting to fight somebody. I've been to plenty of bars in my life. I'm 60 years old, where when the bar's closing, there's 4 fights out in the parking lot, the police are there, somebody's getting, arrested, or there's a fight in a bar. This is not that kind of bar. I don't know if you people have been there. I think this is the greatest bar, one of them that I've ever been to. You've got a place where actually people can watch people ride bulls. I mean, you don't see that at any Chipotle or any other restaurant that you go to. It's the most unique place, and I don't know why in the world that anybody that would be on any kind of zoning, unless this gentleman that owns this bar has done nothing to render whatever you're accusing them of not doing. I don't even know what the issues are. I've heard through the grapevine that that zoning doesn't want them to have parking in the rear, I guess. That's word of mouth. I assume it's because there's residences that are on the back of this property, and the zoning, working as a police power, doesn't want other people not to sleep at night. We've had one witness that I've seen that's been presented here tonight that says she lives back there. I thought, when I saw her come up here, I thought, oh, here's the person that tells the other side of the story. You got people fighting, the kids aren't sleeping at night. The only person that I've seen or talked to that live back there has no issues with any noise. So And the other thing I heard was that they were wanting to build a little party deck or something that, and unless I'm wrong, there was certain, is that true that they want to build a little?
Questions.
Huh?
We can't answer your
Oh, okay.
questions.
Anyway, I love the place. I don't know why in the world that anybody would want to shut this place down. Like I said, it's such an asset to the community. It's one of the reasons I actually bought a house here, because I like that type of environment. You can go there dressed like this. I mean, I don't ride a horse, but I actually had thought about buying one because I like the idea that you could even ride a horse there. I mean, you know, you can't do that, you know, yeah, I mean, I think anybody that, unless somebody's just a gruffy old person or a young person that doesn't like anything that isn't classy, and I mean, this place is like so friendly, the food's great. I think it's an asset for the community. And I think if I was a voter and I was voting for my representation on zoning and the mayor, I would vote for somebody that wants to help protect this business person and help them and try to work with them and not use police power to nit and pick any little thing that they've done. And like I said, I'm on the outside looking in because I don't know what the issue is. I would hope that zoning and this government entity would work with these people. And you can see all the people here. I haven't heard one person that's had a nay or somebody that said something bad, and everybody else loves to go there. So I think you would be doing the disservice to these people that are voters and the general public if you shut these people down. That's just my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak? Does anyone else wish to speak? If I hear no one else does, I will close the public portion of this meeting, and I'll call for a motion.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission continue case CUP-9-17 until the date of March 12th, 2019.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Chairwoman Nesser,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Schroeder,
Yes.
Vice Chair Heck,
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw,
Yes.
Commissioner Kreidler,
Yes.
Commissioner Uli.
Yes.
7 in favor, the motion carries. Madam Chair, this case will come back to you on March 12th, 2019.
Okay, we'll move on to old business. Do we have any old business? None. New business? None either. Information and reports?
Nope.
Okay, director's report.
Just relates to your next item, is that the next meeting is on January 8th. It's a joint meeting with the Parks and Rec Board.
Okay. We'll move on to selection of meeting dates, times, location, and purpose.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission hold a special joint meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Excuse me, we're having a meeting. If you would hold your voices, please. Okay. Please.
I'll start over.
Okay.
I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission hold a special joint meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Parks and Recreation Commission on January 8th, 2019 at 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers located at 300 East Superstition Boulevard, and a Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting on January 8th, 2019 at 7 p.m. in the City Council chambers located at 300 East Superstition Boulevard.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Schroeder,
Yes.
Vice Chair Heck,
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw,
Yes.
Commissioner Kreidler,
Yes.
Commissioner Uli,
Yes.
Chairwoman Nesser.
Yes.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Okay, and unless I hear any objection, I will adjourn this meeting at 7:44. And Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy New Year, and